Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I'm happy you found me, and if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today, I want to talk about the light within us. The other day, I had a wonderful conversation with someone who reminded me of a light that shines within each and every one of us. That light, when it shines so passionately for what we love, exudes out of our very beings. This conversation was like a breath of fresh air. I'm not lying. When I tell you I talk to a lot of people daily, believe me when I tell you I talk to a lot of people and I engage in many conversations every single day. It's part of my job. I'm sorry, but that's what I do. I ask a lot of people, what do they do for a living? And I see some people have a small spark or, they look like they enjoy what they do. But in my wonderful conversation, I saw passion. I saw enthusiasm. I saw joy. I saw wonder. I saw excitement. And more importantly, I witnessed the light of possibilities. This conversation made me realize I haven't seen anyone with that level of intensity, of passion about anything in a long time. It was really a breath of fresh air. It made me even think about myself. Sure, I'm passionate about a lot of things. I've been passionate about writing poetry, and I know a lot of people know that I'm passionate about writing poetry. I've been writing poetry since I was 16 years of age. I'm passionate about this podcast, but not with the level of intensity I witnessed the other day. It's like firing on all cylinders simultaneously when nothing else matters, and what we see is the beauty and passion of a particular thing, whatever it is that you're passionate about, where others might even cringe or disagree with. It's when you love something so deeply. It's all you think about. It's all you want to talk about. It's that thing that keeps you up late at night. And it's that one thing that wakes you up early in the morning with anticipation of learning something new about this thing that you love. Oh, just thinking about that is exciting. That light burns with intensity. It reminds me when Jesus was on the Mount Olives. Early in a particular morning, the people came to him and he started teaching them. And he just said to them, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. I thought about that when I was listening to this person. And I was like, oh my God, I could see light. It was like their whole essence just lit up. It's unbelievable. You want to be reminded of what light looks like? Just watch some young children playing. They can make a fortress out of jelly beans and let their imaginations take them to places of joy we will never know of. It's that special light that we all have, but unfortunately, so many of us are walking around with the light dimmed. And it may not shine as bright as others, but it's there nevertheless. So when we really look at that, we say to ourselves, how did that light dim? And I'm going to tell you, so many people light has dimmed over the years of conditioning with negative self-talk, self-doubt, uncertainty. Life happens, right? It takes its toll, and you begin to settle for the less extraordinary. You settle for less excitement and become more practical. Over time, you look back and you might even ask yourself, where did the time go? All of a sudden, you may be finding yourself stuck, making you even question everything in life, your choices, your career, even your relationships. Trying to rekindle that flame that once burned so brightly. You may even find yourself stuck with old stories, negative dialogue. You've been convincing yourself it's true for so many years, but guess what? They're just fallacies. You might even ask yourself, how in the world did I get here? When did I become so cynical? When did I become so afraid of stepping out of my comfort zone? And you might even say to yourself, when did I start playing it safe? When did I stop pursuing my dreams? And then you might even ask yourself, why do I feel so uncertain? So many people ask themselves this. So many people are going through this. First, I want to let you know you're not alone. The good news is you don't have to accept it any longer. You don't have to stay in that position any longer. You want to first start thinking about, what is it that I want to change? You ask yourself some questions, some empowering questions, questions that's going to provoke thought. You want to, I would say, be aware or take a look at your self-awareness. And you probably heard this word kicked around a lot. So what does that really mean? It's the ability to recognize and understand your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your emotions. And it's also how your emotions can also influence your behavior. You'll actually need a notebook for all this. And the best thing about this is when you start asking yourselves the right empowering questions, you're going to really take your time to write out the answers, because you're going to need to come back to those answers. Like, this is a great question to ask yourself. What changes in my life would I like to make right now? Write it out, and then answer it. But I want you to write it out in paragraphs. Don't just write one simple answer, because it goes deeper than that. When you start thinking of really what do you want to change in your life right now and why, then you'll start writing. But I want you to ask yourself this too. By making this change in my life right now, how would that change affect me? How would I act? How will I think? How would I feel? I want you to think about that, and I want you to write all that stuff down. It's going to take some time. You're going to do a little soul searching here. So before I go, I want you to realistically think about 3 things that you can do to start that change. What 3 things, and write it down. Write everything down. What 3 things can I start on my journey to changing? What is the one thing I can do today to start? And then who can you get to be your accountability partner? Now, I just want to step in here with a little disclaimer here, because this is true. Usually shortly after you want to make these changes, you're all hyped up, you're ready to go, and you're ready to start your journey. Guess what? Fear is going to be knocking at your door. What will you, or better yet, what will be your anchor when fear knocks on your door? And if I might make a suggestion here, it'd be the why. It'd be the why that you've written down. So you want to make sure it's the real reason why you want to make this change. And I want you to think of a little kid when they ask you a question. Why is the sky blue? And then you give them the answer, and then they ask you why. I want you to start drilling down on your own questions. So what changes in your life you would like to make right now? Then you write the answer, and then you drill why. And then when you write the why, I want you to drill again. Why is that important? And then drill one more time and find out why that is important. And the reason I'm telling you to do this is because it gives you the real reason why you need to change something in your life. And believe me when I tell you, it works. So you got to write all this stuff down. Start your change journal today. Get a journal, brand new, whatever, or if you have a laptop, create a file and put my change journal. Write down everything that you want to change. Then write down your feelings, your thoughts, and I want you to write down how it's making you feel. And even making this change, I want you to write down how just thinking about making this change and committing to it, how does that make you feel? So also, in the beginning of the day, I want you to create a motivational statement that depicts your why. You're going to create an empowering statement that also depicts your why, because you want to keep your why in the forefront of everything that you do daily. So the reason I want you to do this is because fear will definitely start to change. It'll start to grow. It'll start to get stronger, and it'll make you fall back in line with your old self, giving you amnesia and telling you that the issue that you're trying to change from is not so bad, and it's familiar and it's safe. Let's stay here. I'm going to stop here because of time constraints, to be honest with you. However, if you're serious about making the changes in your life and you could use a little help, you can email me at thelastpodcast443@gmail.com. And in the subject line, just go ahead and write free coaching sessions. In the body, tell me a little bit about what you would like to change. You'll receive, I'll just say this, 4 free coaching sessions to help you kickstart your journey to becoming unstuck, finding clarity, and transforming with purpose. My name is Dave. You're listening to The Last Podcast. Hey, do me a favor. Subscribe and like this podcast and tell your family, friends, co-workers, and associates about this podcast. Share it, why don't you? Thanks a lot for listening. And don't forget to come back on Friday, Poetry Friday. I'll have a brand new poem for you. Be blessed. I'll see you soon.